Mrs. Grancell in 1946 got a group of families together. It wasn't called Temple Menorah, it was called, I think at first, the South Bay Jewish Community. It was for the children.
Originally, we called the place South Bay Jewish Community Center. Now, in those days, Mr. Grancell, you know, was looking to, to get something started. Grancell bought that property on Catalina for $7,500, and he spent $7,500 to bring it up to code, and he gave it to us free. We met once a week, and also on Friday night we had services. We had about 40 families in those days.
Well, take Isaac Grancell. He was a person who went up and down the coast, selling what they used to call in the old country notions to the workers in the derricks. And that's when he discovered that no matter what they smeared on to the derricks, the rust would come through anyway. And so he experimented until he got a certain constituency in the grease that he developed. And eventually was sold to DuPont. And he was an entrepreneur, and those were the kinds of people who came out here, who wanted to have a new start.
He wanted an organization. He wanted a temple, a shul. So they got a few Jewish people together, and they got on the phone, and they looked at the phone book, and they looked for Jewish names. We're organizing a temple, and we'd like to have you come down to a meeting. And that's the way the temple started.
The small congregation that we had, for lack of a better place, an only place, which was a room on the second floor of a building above where the Salvation Army is today. And that's where we would meet.
We used to meet above the Salvation Army, and we had space up there. And the building was given by the Grancells.
I don't know that we had a rabbi there. It's quite possible that a member of the temple acted as a coordinator and a rabbi, and we conducted Friday evening services.
Our services were conducted by laymen. We didn't have a rabbi.
I remember the first time I came out there, I couldn't find it, because I couldn't believe that the temple would be located where it was. But the people made it so special. They were so anxious to have a Jewish service.
Oh, it was very, very, very important.
I joined because we're synagogue people way back. And it was very important for me and for the children and for my husband at the time to have contact.
I think in part it was teach me how to be Jewish, so I can do this now myself. How do you conduct a service? Those who knew Hebrew contributed the Hebrew portion of it. Once in a while you found somebody in the congregation even who could read the Torah. So each person contributed, to creating what you call community. And that made it a community.
You wanted to belong. There was no place to meet. I mean, sisterhood and brotherhood and all the social activities. So they wanted very much to have a place of their own.
I was proud of it. We had a place, to go. We were very active socially. We used to have dinners like potluck dinners every month or so. And every week we had a meeting, and the sisterhood would serve coffee and cake and stuff like that. And everybody had a good time.
One gentleman, a very sweet man, his name was Mose Goldenson. He came over and said, "Would you be a hostess next week?" So I asked someone, "What does it mean to be a hostess?" She said, "You bring a cake and stand behind the table and serve it."
In those days, you see, what we did, we had a meeting every Monday. And we'd do our business, and then We'd play cards. Used to cut out of every pot, depending upon how big the pots were. 50 cents, $1.
Oh, they had poker games, and there was a kitty set aside for the money for a temple.
7 years, we raised $3,000. And that was the seed money, the money to buy a lot.
Rabbi Front was the first one. Actually, he came when we were still upstairs. We didn't even have a lot or anything at that time.
Rabbi Front was a very sweet man. He used to go roller skating with the kids.
He was a young guy, and he was just exciting. He was a part of us getting the building. He worked very hard.
Henry Front and I were classmates at Hebrew Union College. We knew each other for many, many years, and our families were close.
We originally had raised $3,000, for a new temple. We bought a lot, put down $3,000, and the payments were $150 a month. And the temple couldn't do it, so Sam Farber paid that money until we were able to give him the money back. And that saved the temple. Sam bought the lot down by Del Amo there. That lot was bought for $18,000. There was nothing there, And then when Del Amo came in later, they sold the lot for $210,000 and bought the present site for $80,000.